So somebody might ask, how does God speak, okay, to people? Because you often hear people say things like, "Oh, God spoke to me. I heard the voice of God. He said this to me and he said that to me." So how does God speak? I'm reminded of a particular story of Pastor Yongicho, who said his son came to stay by his office door Saturday night into Sunday morning. And then, what now? When he was in church, he shared with the congregation about some of the things that God spoke or said to him. And when they got back home, the son told him that, "Daddy, you are lying. Daddy, you are lying. I was there. I didn't hear anything. God didn't say anything to you." Well, the assumption is that God speaks, that assumption is that God speaks to the physical ears of people, your biological ears, and nothing could be further from the truth. Well, if God speaks to you, all right, if God speaks to your ears, your natural or your physical ears, okay, it means that God is a human being. It's just as simple. Okay, if you expect God to speak to you, and then you want to hear what God says to you with your ears, it means you're expecting to hear from a man-made God or a human God. But then God is not a man. Okay, the Bible describes God as spirit. God is spirit. God is spirit. All right, and they that worship Him must worship Him in spirit and in truth. So if you want to hear from God, you have to hear from God in spirit and in truth. So two things, okay, spirit, then of course truth. Okay, in spirit and in truth. Your spirit man has to grow to a point where you can pick things in your spirit man from God, because at the end of the day, we are not human beings. What do I mean? We are not natural human beings. Okay, we are created in the image of God and in the likeness of God. We have examples around. Examples abound. Okay, from people's villages, for example, diabolic activities are carried out. They make an effigy and then they what now? They break the leg and it affects the person in Lagos or the person in Abuja. How can somebody make a charm from Lagos and then it affects, a charm from whatever village in the east or in the west, and then it affects a man far away? From America, for example, diabolic activities can be carried out, all right, here in Nigeria, that we compel somebody in America to come back home and then he will leave empty-handed. So we have all kinds of examples abounding. But then what you need to know, all right, preliminarily rather, is that God speaks to you via your spirit man. Okay, you have to build your spirit man, which is another topic entirely. So how do I build my spirit man, which is something we'll talk about in another lesson. Okay, but then God speaks to you via your spirit, and then of course He speaks to you via the truth. Okay, we'll talk about that later. All right, He speaks to you via your spirit and He speaks to you via truth.